In just 12 hours, the level 6 passes open up, and we are going to be doing the biggest fighting we've done so far in this Strife of the 8 KVK. In this video, I'm going to be talking about all the preparations we're doing in terms of gear and commanders to get ready to battle, so stick around. What's up, everybody? Psych out here with another Rise of Kingdoms video. We are about to do the biggest battle yet of this KVK. In fact, we have hardly done any battling in this KVK, and I'll give a real quick brief update here on the KVK and what's going on real quick to start out. We're in a Strife of the 8 KVK as a reminder. There are 8 different kingdoms in here. 4 of them, or 3 of them, are our allies. 3 of them are the enemies. And if we look at the camps here, we are the Greenwood camp down there in the bottom right. We have our allies are in the bottom middle, our allies are in the top middle, and our allies are in the top right. The other 4 camps, the entire left side and the middle right camp, that sort of water looking camp there, those are our enemies. We've pretty well boxed in that water camp. They haven't been out for really much, and I will zoom out here real quickly to see, to show exactly what's going on here. So the water camp is over here in this zone over here, and you can see that we've boxed them in on the top, and we've boxed them here, and there really hasn't been very much fighting at all this KVK for hardly any of us. But pretty soon these passes here, this level 6 pass up here, is going to open up. We can then go through our allied zone here. Our ally has control of this zone, and start fighting on these level 5 passes here to get into this zone. So that's one thing that can happen. I actually don't know anything about our plan, so I have no idea what's going to happen. Then there's also on this other side of the map, there is a similar kind of setup. If I can find it over here. Let's see, there it is. There's that level 6 pass over here. It's kind of hard to see. It's hidden back there. But there's a level 6 pass there, and we can also go through this area and fight in this zone, which is occupied by one of our enemies. So a lot of fighting is going to break out. I don't know which direction we're going to be going. It depends on where the territory is built. All kinds of things can happen. In principle, the KVK could be decided over the next several days of fighting in these zones, but I don't really know exactly what is going to happen. So that's where we're at right now, but we have to get ready for battle. So a few things we need to do. We need to check in on our tech, and you notice that since we're 12 hours since the pass opening, that means that the bundle is here. What is the name of that bundle? Mountain Warfare bundle. I bet that's what this little pop-up is here. And if we scroll through, I bet that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so Mountain Warfare is here. That happens 12 hours before the passes open up. So I'm going to show you really quickly where we're at in terms of our crystal technology. We've done pretty well. All of this tech is completed. We are getting Call to Arms level 1, getting another 4% troop capacity here. I'm not going to be messing around with this one for right now, even though I can do that. That'll be something maybe to work on later on if the KVK's decided. I've only gotten each of these to level 7, and obviously there's a lot more attack. I can get 4% just for that level alone, and 2% at each of those levels. So there's a lot more attack I can get in terms of my infantry and my archers and my cavalry. So I'll be looking at that tech, although that tech is fairly expensive. All told, I need about 25.6 million crystals to max out all of the really sort of the key tech that I want to max out in this KVK, although about 5 million, 4.8 million of that is actually expanded formations 2, which I really don't care that much about. I'm not going to use 7 marches anyway. So basically I'm 20 million crystals away, and obviously the 20 million crystals I need already includes the 5.2 million crystals that I currently have open. It includes a couple of extra kahars that I could do, but for right now, this is where we're at in terms of our tech. So we can add more to our attack. I would also like to add more here because we can get more troop capacity, but that means I have to push this up to level 10, and I'm not rally leading, so that doesn't really do me much good. And to get that there, I think I have to get this to level 10, and I'm not sure. I don't think I have to get these to level 10 to push Swift Marching to level 10, but I might have to. I'm not exactly sure. So these can also be pushed up a little bit. They're relatively cheap in terms of the crystals. But you know, they obviously don't do any more damage. They make it so that I can heal at a reduced cost. But they don't really help me do a lot more damage. And look, the whole goal here is to do a lot more damage. I want to get a lot of kills. This can only be pushed up once. Again, this one here reaches level 10. So I've got a few decisions to make about in terms of what to do for the technology. Obviously, I think by Kingsland we'll have no problem getting the crystals that we need to max tech. But this is, you know, this may be the biggest fighting, or maybe the only fighting, in fact, of the KVK. So if we go here and we check our crystal mine, we've done pretty well on bastions. We've hit every single bastion every day, so we haven't missed any. We're at nearly 200% crystal speed from our mine, which is just not too bad. I've done a lot of easy bastions, so we could have a higher percentage if I had done some better bastions. But anyway, that's where we're at. In terms of our Crusader achievements, as I mentioned, there has not been a whole lot of fighting. I've started pushing honor recently. I still need about 33,000 honor points to get the top rewards there. But you can see I only have 870,000 kills, which is actually not that bad in terms of our kingdom or our camp, because there just really hasn't been much fighting. So everyone is going to be amped up to be fighting in the next 12 hours. It's going to be super exciting. There's going to be lots and lots happening, but a lot of kills to go to reach that 30 million kill point. We're also doing okay in terms of, well, I need to do a lot more occupying of ruins. Like I said, I've got every bastion commander quest done so far, so we're making good progress there. Need to kill about another, well, I think it's actually 60 forts. I think you get credit for 2 forts for each one of those that you kill. So I need to kill about another 60 forts to get those rewards. And so really all it comes down to is getting 30 million kills. If we can get 30 million kills, we're going to get most of the rewards for this KVK. So that's what we're sitting at. And how are we going to get those kills? Obviously, it depends on, you know, our technology, which I just showed you, but it also depends on our commanders and our gear. So let's jump over here to look at what we're looking at in terms of commanders. In my last videos, I've sort of mentioned that, you know, we've been improving these commanders. We've been working on these. I max spun Trajan, so that now Trajan is really close to expertise. In fact, I'm going to be expertising him right now in this video to get him ready to go for the battle tomorrow. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. We'll put 80 universal sculptures into Trajan. Finish off this skill, so we're getting even more defense. We're getting 6% defense for every stack, so that's awesome. And then we're going to be powering up this skill, which does a little bit more damage in terms of damage factor to the target. Well, actually, I'm not even sure if that's more damage, but it increases the rage, and it also increases the skill damage that I do to nearby targets. So really powerful improvement there for Trajan. So now our Trajan is expertise. I also have Nebuchadnezzar really close, and I think in my last video I talked about trying to push these commanders up, and so now is the time. So we're going to go ahead and expertise Nebuchadnezzar, and that's going to cost us almost 160 sculptures, but I think it's going to be worth it here. And this really doesn't help me much because I don't rally lead, but this skill actually will help Nebu quite a bit. It does quite a bit more damage to the target that you are attacking, extra 500 damage factor. So that's pretty significant improvement for that march. So now we've got an expertise Nebu. The next one I'm going to be expertising is XY, and this one's actually going to take quite a few of my sculptures. The cav wheel is coming, but I'm going to be focused on William for that cav wheel because he's about like I think, let me double check here, about 226 away for William. Let's see, what did we do? Okay, there we go. He's oh, actually, wow, that's really good. You'd be tempted to leave him at 5535, but this expertise on XY is actually pretty good, dealing an extra 10% skill damage, and obviously he does a lot of skill damage. And then when he gains a rage buff, he gets even more increased skill damage. And you know, with the Trajans and other things on the field, he'll be picking up some rage buffs some of the time at least, and also William out there as well. So let's go ahead and expertise our XY. This is our most expensive one that we're expertising here. So again, the skill doesn't really help much. It's just a rally skill, and I don't really do rallies, but there we go. We've got this expertise unlocked as well. And obviously this fourth skill is really, really good, reducing that rage requirement and giving that extra cavalry damage bonus, which is really, really strong on XY. So now we've got an expertise XY. And the last one we're going to be expertising here today is Guan Yu. I'm obviously a few skills away from him, and this is going to be another one of the expensive ones. But at the end of the day, I think getting more points in this force skill is really, really critical for Guan. And you're going to see I'm going to be using basically all of my universal sculptures here. What I have left can be used on William, or possibly one of the new archer commanders that is coming to the game, like Boudica Prime. Looks pretty promising for an open field player like myself, but I don't really have a good use for her right now in my murder ball. So there we go. Now we've got Guan Yu's expertise, get some extra march speed when he leaves the structure, and if he gets a shield, he'll do an extra 15% damage. I actually might be pairing him with Leonidas. I've been talking for a long time about doing Guan with Alex as the pairing, and then bringing out Saladin and putting him in front of William. But I think I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to go with Guan and Leo, and then I'm actually going to be bringing Alex up as a primary commander and putting this new CPO Prime behind Alex. A couple of reasons I like that. One is I like Alex's skill going off first, because it makes all of the targets take a 30% increased damage, which is really strong. And then of course a CPO Prime has an area of effect damage, so those targets are taking more damage, and then it gets hit with an AoE, pretty large AoE damage effect. I kind of like that synergy and that combination. And I also kind of like, I've always for whatever reason really liked this attack tree on Alex. I particularly like these skills over here, increasing all damage and increasing all damage. I feel like these are actually really strong as long as the battle goes on for a long time. So I'm going to be using Alex with Scipio, and that means XY will get Honda back. So it'll be XY Honda again, like I've used before, and it will also be mean Nevsky goes back to a primary commander instead of being behind XY. It's going to be XY with William. And the last two marches will be Nebu YSG and the aforementioned Trajan with Ethelflood. So those will be the marches I'm going to be using in this KVK. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 expertise legendary commanders, and well, actually it looks like 16, 17. I'm forgetting about the gatherers if you count the gatherers. So I've got now 17 legendary commanders expertise. William is not far away. When the cav wheel gets here, I'll be max spinning that to get him as close as I can to expertise. And then I'm really not sure what I'm going to be doing on wheels for a while. I mean, I'm really not going to work on Constantine at all anymore. So I'm pretty well done with that commander. I can actually open up a whole bunch of gold keys, and obviously I'm very close to expertise. I only need 60 to expertise Ishida, so expertising Ishida will be done pretty soon as well. So I'll have about 20 legendary commanders with expertise here pretty soon. So that is pretty exciting, and I think our marches are in really good shape. Now the last thing we need to do is take a look at our gear. There is a really kind of critical piece of gear I could be crafting here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and that is the Horn of Fury. I only have one Horn of Fury I'm using right now, and I think adding a second Horn of Fury to my lineup would be really useful. I think I'm probably going to put it on that Guan Leo march. I really like the idea of Guan firing off his skill first. The Alex march is also a reasonable choice, but I think I'm going to try to go with the Guan Leo march. I mean, the advantage of Alex is Alex doesn't really have a way to generate a lot of rage, so putting it on Alex might be the way to go as well, kicking off that debuff. And then also a really good argument can be made for Trajan, because you often want Trajan's skill to go off first so that target takes more damage. So I'll be thinking about that. But either way, certainly I think a Horn of Fury is a big add to my lineup at this point. Obviously, it costs me a heck of a lot of gold and a whole lot of materials to craft, but I think it's going to be worth it. So let's go ahead and craft that right now. As usual, we get no special talent. And let's go to Guan Yu and see what we currently have on Guan. I think we've got, we have this book here, which is pretty good in terms of epics. Definitely don't need the both of these. One of these I probably should get rid of on Alex. On this march over here, I also have this Mora's Web, which I need somewhere out there, so maybe it doesn't go on Nevsky. Maybe I do want Nevsky to have that Horn of Fury to fire off his skill faster. Let's see what else we could go with here. I think Nebu YSG is also a reasonable choice. I've already got a Ring of Doom on this one. I have another Ring of Doom here on Guan as well, so that would be pretty logical placement for it as well. But I think, again, the other option really is Trajan, who has the dagger and the book. I think I'm just going to stick with my gut here and go with Guan Yu. I like the idea of that of him firing off his skill early, because he has that silence, and that silence is really powerful. So that's the other reason I'm going to be using him with Leo. Leo powers up that rage, and so he's going to fire off basically a turn sooner than most other marches, which means those marches get silenced, and that can have a pretty dramatic effect on how the battle goes. So let's go to where am I going to put that book? Probably on Alex. I don't think I want Delaine's amulet, so I can remove that, and we can put this ancient stratagems here. So that will add a little more troops to that march, which is nice. Okay, last thing I guess I can look at here is, can I craft anything else before we get going? It doesn't look like it. The only other thing that would make sense to craft in my mind would be another Ash of the Dawn. But I don't think I have the materials to craft that right now. We just used all of them on the Horn of Fury. I think even if I dismantled this here, and even if I dismantled that Delaine's amulet, I still don't think I would have enough materials to craft an Ash of the Dawn for this march. So I think we're just going to leave this march as it is and head out to battle this way. So those will be the marches that I'm going to be using here. Like I said, about 12 hours. I'm going to be recording the pass opening, although there might not be a lot that happens at the pass opening. It might be subsequently after, in which case then I'll just be recording the actual fighting. Us taking the pass isn't going to be too exciting, but the actual fighting could be a lot of fun. And obviously we'll be spending down the last of our crystals here before the big fight goes, just to see how much damage we can do. And the big deal is we're going to try to get 30 million kills in 24 hours. I mean, that's it. We're going to basically have a day of fighting, and we got a lot of kills to go. We got about 29.2 million kills to get. So hopefully we get there. That's it for this video. Those are the marches I'm going to be using. This is how we've powered up. We've just expertised a bunch of legendaries, which is super exciting. Crafted a Horn of Fury, which should make that Guan Yu march even more powerful. And hopefully it has a big impact on the field tomorrow. That's it for this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below about content you want to see in the future. Thanks so much for coming by, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.